The mysterious land of left azure dragon and right white tiger, a heaven-granted auspicious ground. One dragon and one tiger bowing toward each other, a sacred image under the heavens. In the treasure house of traditional Feng Shui, few symbols are mentioned as often or carry such deep meaning as the land formation of left azure dragon and right white tiger. The ancients regarded this not only as a favorable geographical layout, but also as the revelation of heaven's will, a balance of yin and yang entrusted to the earth's dragon veins. If we look deeper, we will see that this image goes beyond the shapes of rivers and mountains, containing a philosophy of life and a reminder for humans to follow heaven, keep the way, and cultivate the heart in order to fully inherit heaven's blessings. Imagine this land formation. Our ancestors often said that on the left, the azure dragon coils like a jade-green river winding around, soft yet full of vitality. On the right, the white tiger stands firm and majestic, like a mountain barrier, carrying a solemn and powerful aura. One side symbolizes wisdom, expansion, and compassion. The other symbolizes strength, solidity, and steadfast will. These two opposing forces, movement and stillness, appear together in a harmonious composition like two giant arms supporting a house, shielding the family and preserving blessings for generations. The ancients believed that a homeowner living on land where the azure dragon and white tiger converge would receive the protection of heaven and earth, career success, abundant wealth, and family harmony. The azure dragon brings the flowing energy of opportunity and steady growth, like favorable rain nourishing fertile fields. The white tiger provides protective strength, like a mighty wall guarding against disaster. A place that offers both life-giving energy and protective barriers is the auspicious ground people have always longed for. But more important than the external shape is the harmony within the human heart. This land teaches that all things prosper only when balance is achieved. If the azure dragon grows too strong, the owner may fall into illusions. Wisdom turns into cunning, opportunity into greed, and fortune changes like turbulent tides. If the white tiger dominates, the owner may become rigid and authoritarian, using force instead of harmony, leading to conflict and loss of blessings. Therefore, the convergence of dragon and tiger is not merely a scenic arrangement, but a reminder that wisdom and strength, softness and firmness, intellect and strength, ambition and patience must coexist in balance. This land also reflects the cosmic law of yin and yang in life. Yin cannot exist without yang, and yang cannot be separated from yin. One who lives amid the dragon and tiger and understands this will know how to adjust oneself. When gentle, know where to stop. When firm, know where to yield. When advancing, know when to retreat. When holding, know when to release. Life is not always smooth. Blessings endure only when we follow the middle path, avoiding bias and extremity. This is the core of the way, teaching people to stay clear-minded and to understand that the greatest fortune does not come from mountains or rivers, but from self-cultivation. The ancients witnessed many great families who built their fortunes on dragon-tiger land. Some flourished brilliantly, others fell tragically. The difference lay not in the land, but in how people treated their fortune. Families that remained humble and rooted in virtue, raising children with morality and kindness, were protected by the dragon and tiger, passing glory from generation to generation. Those who became arrogant and cruel, relying on the land's power to oppress others, turned the azure dragon into raging floods that swept away their enterprises, and the white tiger into claws that brought deadly misfortune. Thus, when discussing the mystery of left azure dragon and right white tiger, we speak not only of geography but of human attitude. The land may be auspicious, but the human heart decides all. Whoever grasps the dragon-tiger principle within, blending firmness and softness, intellect and strength, ambition and patience, will find that wherever they stand becomes heaven-granted ground. This is the hidden wisdom the ancients sought to convey. Feng Shui is not merely external, it is a mirror for the inner self, urging cultivation to harmonize with heaven and earth. The initial meaning of left azure dragon and right white tiger is a sacred symbol of heavenly protection and support, but its deeper layer lies in the philosophy of balance and the law of yin and yang. This is no vague notion, but a life principle tested over countless generations, a compass guiding humans through the ever-changing tides of existence. The azure dragon embodies flexible grace, like a blue-green river flowing endlessly, representing wisdom, creativity, foresight, and compassion. The white tiger represents strength,
discipline, and unyielding order, like towering mountains standing firm against storms. A person who relies only on the dragon, intelligence, cleverness, adaptability, without discipline and inner strength, is like a boat with oars but no rudder, easily swept into sudden whirlpools. A person who clings only to the tiger, force, rigidity, conservatism, without flexibility and insight, is like a heavy cart whose wheels grip the earth but cannot move forward. The hidden teaching of the dragon-tiger layout is balance. In life, a family with a father as dignified as the white tiger also needs a mother as gentle as the Azure dragon to keep harmony. A business with leaders who are strict and decisive also needs creative people who can adopt and open new paths. Society as well. If there is only strict law without compassion, people will live in fear. If there is only kindness without discipline, chaos will follow. Balance is the eternal principle, the cosmic order set by heaven and earth, reflected not only in land but in human destiny. Anyone who leans too far to one side will pay the price. Those too soft and yielding are easily exploited and cannot protect their rights. Those too hard and stubborn invite conflict and turn blessings into disaster. Living on Dragon Tigerland is a constant reminder to regulate oneself. Stay calm, know when to advance and when to retreat. Find softness within hardness and strength within gentleness. This balance is also the Yin-Yang lesson the ancients often taught. Yin and Yang never separate and never annihilate each other. They oppose yet support, creating the endless cycle of the universe. In family, the wife is Yin and the husband is Yang. In career, wisdom is Yin and action is Yang. In the body, the mind is Yin and the body is Yang. Excess Yin breeds weakness, excess Yang breeds aggression. Only when Yin and Yang are balanced can body and mind be healthy, family peaceful, and career enduring. Understanding this secret reveals that Feng Shui is not a magic to pray for wealth, but a mirror showing where we lean. If we overvalue intellect and neglect spiritual strength, we must add discipline and will. If we are too harsh and hot-tempered, we must learn tolerance and openness. By self-adjustment, we become like a house perfectly placed between Azure Dragon and White Tiger, with a bright open court in front and a protective black tortoise behind, auspicious in all directions. The ancients therefore emphasized that while living on balanced Dragon-Tiger land is a blessing, the greater task is to make oneself a balanced Dragon-Tiger. The noble person walks through life without bias or extremity, as flexible as water yet as steadfast as a mountain, thus grasping the true vein of fortune and turning external luck into inner blessing. In Eastern Feng Shui and mysticism, it is believed that no matter how auspicious the land, if heaven's timing is unfavorable, it can still turn dangerous. One of the strongest influences is the Grand Duke of Jupiter, or Tai Sui, the cosmic force governing yearly fortunes.
Ancients warned that even a perfect dragon-tiger site cannot escape heavenly cycles. Tai Sui, the deity of time, moves through the 12 earthly branches year by year, influencing the rise and fall of individuals and families. Even when living on blessed dragon-tiger land, one must pay attention to Tai Sui. If a year clashes with one's birth sign, fortune may still be disturbed, careers hindered, and family uneasy. This proves that Feng Shui is not an absolute guarantee, but only a favorable condition that must be paired with mindfulness and moral cultivation. Heaven and earth use Tai Sui to test people. A homeowner who remains calm, acts cautiously, and endures hardships will stay safe even in a Tai Sui year. But those who become arrogant, believing good land can defy fate, risk turning blessings into disaster and seeing their enterprise crumble overnight. Philosophically, Tai Sui teaches that life offers no absolute security, only inner preparation. The land may be firm as a mountain, but if the heart trembles, the mountain cannot protect. Conversely, even if the land faces misfortune, a steadfast heart that knows when to retreat and when to advance will find that hardship is only a passing shower. This reflects a vital life lesson. Do not seek permanence outside, cultivate permanence within. An old story tells of a wealthy merchant who built his fortune on dragon-tiger land. For years he prospered, but in a Tai Sui year, he lost everything because arrogance blinded him to the warnings of Feng Shui masters. The land did not betray him, his pride robbed him of clarity. The message is clear. The land is a tool, the heart is the root. those who follow heaven's way will not decline even in bad cycles. Those who act recklessly will lose their fortune even on blessed soil. In everyday life, understanding Tai Sui is like understanding the changing tides of history. There are times to expand and times to pause, to observe and to gather strength. Like the Azure Dragon River, sometimes gentle, sometimes surging. Like the White Tiger Mountain, sometimes protective, sometimes perilous. The wise wait for the right moment, rooting themselves in stillness until storms pass and opportunities return. Cultivating virtue is the way to neutralize Tai Sui. The ancients taught that virtue overcomes fate. When destiny brings hard times, doing good, keeping a kind heart, and acting humbly will cause heaven and earth to turn misfortune into blessing. Auspicious land, favorable timing, and abundant virtue, these three create true, lasting prosperity. Without the factor of virtue, even the finest dragon-tiger site cannot ensure longevity. Thus, discussing Tai Sui within the dragon-tiger layout is a reminder: always stay alert, never rely solely on land or luck. Heaven's timing may change, but those who cultivate the heart remain unshaken, for within they have built a White Tiger Mountain of firmness and an Azure Dragon River of endless flow. If left Azure Dragon and Right White Tiger are heaven's gifts, that gift is fulfilled only when humans cultivate virtue and base their lives on moral principles. The land may be auspicious and fortune strong, but if the heart turns crooked with greed and selfishness, even blessed ground becomes a breeding place for calamity. The ancients said, when virtue does not match position, disaster follows, meaning great fortune without sufficient virtue will inevitably lead to downfall. This is the deep mystery of the dragon-tiger land. It is not an unconditional gift, but a test of the homeowner's morality and heart. One who lives on dragon-tiger land but only seeks profit while neglecting goodness is like a person drinking sweet water while poisoning the very spring that sustains them. At first they may prosper, but over time blessings fade and descendants decline. This is the unbreakable law of cause and effect. Conversely, a homeowner who builds on virtue, uses wealth for good deeds, helps the needy, and teaches compassion will find the Azure Dragon ever more graceful, bringing opportunities, and the White Tiger ever more solid, protecting from harm. Heaven-granted land is only the beginning. The human heart decides lasting fortune. This philosophy is mirrored in daily life. A wealthy family that is arrogant, jealous, and disdainful will eventually split and lose its fortune. An ordinary family that lives harmoniously, observes propriety, and respects each other will pass blessings to future generations. Good Feng Shui is like fertile soil. Sow seeds of kindness, and you harvest abundance. Sow poison, and even the best soil becomes barren. An old tale tells of a noble family who prospered on dragon-tiger land, but later descendants indulged in pleasure and greed, harming the innocent, and were finally destroyed. Another humble family lived on average land, but worked diligently, acted kindly, and accumulated virtue. Their descendants rose to high positions and glory. Two opposite stories, one shared truth. Heaven's blessings endure only when people keep the way. Cultivating virtue means not only doing good deeds, but also keeping a pure heart free from greed, anger, and delusion. One who lives on dragon-tiger land but remains restless and self-seeking will find good fortune as fleeting as the wind. One who meditates, keeps a peaceful mind, and roots life in righteousness can turn danger into safety even during Tai Sui years. This is the power of virtue to overcome fate. In human affairs, this lesson is vital. A person who enjoys auspicious land but lacks morality is like someone holding a precious jewel only to trade it for momentary pleasure. The jewel is lost and the heart grows darker. One who cultivates the self can turn hardship into opportunity because a bright heart lights the path ahead. Then the dragon-tiger land exists not just underfoot, but in every breath and every act of goodness. The ancients clearly saw this truth and therefore always linked Feng Shui with morality. Feng Shui without morality becomes empty form and blind greed. Morality without Feng Shui lacks harmony with nature and risks extremity. When the two combine, we truly unite heaven, earth, and humanity, preserving fortune for generations. Thus, the greatest meaning of left Azure Dragon and right White Tiger is not merely mountains and rivers that shield, but a warning and an admonition. Cultivate the heart, accumulate virtue, sow blessings, and only then can wealth endure. Auspicious land is the starting gift. Survival or downfall lies entirely in human hands. Finally comes meditation of the soul, filtering out restless thoughts. If the earlier lessons speak of land, yin-yang balance, tai sui, and moral cultivation, the final meaning of left Azure Dragon and right White Tiger leads inward. Humans need meditation to cleanse illusions and keep a peaceful mind, for in the end, even the best land is only external. If the heart is chaotic, blessed ground turns gloomy. If the heart is clear and pure, even dangerous land becomes a refuge. The ancients believed that the Azure Dragon and White Tiger are not merely external Feng Shui symbols, but reflections of two aspects of the human psyche. The Azure Dragon is wisdom and flexibility, like the ever-changing flow of thought. The White Tiger is willpower and steadfastness, like a mountain that holds the heart steady against storms. When the mind is trained to harmonize intellect and strength, contemplation and resolve, that inner state itself becomes a perfect dragon-tiger formation. If the mind is ruled by illusions, sometimes too weak, sometimes too rigid, then even on blessed land, peace is hard to find. Meditation is the path to build the dragon and tiger within. When we sit quietly, release worries, breathe slowly, and watch each thought drift by like clouds, we nurture the Azure Dragon, the clear stream of wisdom untainted by ambition or fear. When we keep the body upright and the will firm, refusing to be dragged by wandering thoughts, we nurture the White Tiger, the inner strength that resists life's storms. Thus, practitioners of meditation not only protect mental health, but also connect with the energies of heaven and earth, turning themselves into a dwelling place of blessing. In today's society, people are swept into the whirlpool of work, money, and fame, forgetting the stillness needed to examine themselves. A homeowner on Dragon Tiger land who chases only profit without cultivating the soul is like one holding a priceless sword but letting it rust until it becomes dull and useless. One who spends time meditating, listening inward, and mastering restless thoughts is like sharpening that sword until it gleams, strong enough to guard fortune and protect the family. This philosophy aligns with the law of cause and effect. Greedy, angry, deluded thoughts are weeds on the fertile soil of the heart. If not removed, they overgrow and turn rich land into wasteland. Meditation uproots the weeds, giving room for seeds of virtue to sprout. Those who practice regularly, keeping a pure heart, not only protect themselves, but spread good energy to the family, blessing the entire lineage. For this reason, the ancients advised, to preserve fortune, first cultivate the self. To cultivate the self, first quiet the mind. From a Feng Shui perspective, meditation activates the hidden energy of Dragon Tiger land. The site may hold auspicious energy, but only when the heart is still and self-aware can that energy merge and nourish life. If the mind is full of restless thoughts, the auspicious current cannot flow or reveal its power. One who lives on Dragon Tiger land and practices meditation is as if placing the dragon and tiger into their own veins, ensuring enduring blessings and lasting fortune. Ultimately, meditation is not merely a spiritual practice, but a wise way of life. It teaches us to pause amid the rush of life, to listen in order to understand, to breathe in order to let go, to be still in order to see the fleeting nature of ambition. When the heart is